It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. Y'all, we made it to Friday. It's the end of another work week, and I have you covered, friends. I've got a great masterpiece for today's Masterpiece Friday. The song is Gimme Shelter, and it's by the Rolling Stones, and I'm happy that you're along for the ride. Just a few weeks ago, we started our look into the Rolling Stones. I know I've got all of these episodes, but I've just started with the Rolling Stones. And we started with Paint It Black because that's the song that won the poll that I put over here on YouTube. Well, when I decided I was going to come back to the Stones here this week, I look back at that poll and I see that Gimme Shelter came in second. And our friend Margaret has been asking me to get to this song as well. So that's what I'm up to today, and I'm happy that you're here. So as I look into the song itself, it was written by Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, and it's the opening song from their 8th album, Let It Bleed. It was released in November of 1969. And with this album, the band was returning to their blues roots. They were not only showcasing their influence by the blues, but they were bringing in some gospel, some country rock, a lot of American influences in their music at this time. And even though the guys in the band are from England, they really couldn't help but be influenced by the major happening of the time. Remember, it's 1969, friends, and the brutal and ongoing war in Vietnam is raging, and it's on everybody's minds. And the song's lyrics touch on the brutal realities of war, making it both timely back in 1969 and sadly for us today, timeless, because we still, have these issues with conflict around the world. Keith has said that the germ for this idea of Gimme Shelter came when he was looking out his window during a rainstorm in England, and he saw a whole bunch of people running around looking for shelter. And so several months later, when he began workshopping the song with Mick Jagger, the lyrical point of view ended up turning to the seeking of shelter, being seeking shelter from the atrocities of war instead of fleeing intense weather. So that's what we get, friends. And I'm eager to hear this. I know that I've heard it. When people said, you got to do Gimme Shelter, I'm like, which one is that? and Megan started kind of singing, it's just a shot away. I'm like, oh, I know the Shot Away song. Is that Gimme Shelter? And people are like looking at me, Doug, come on. Of course, it's Gimme Shelter. So I have heard the song, but I'll be really curious today to really dive into it and see what everything is doing in there and see what they're up to. So we got Mick Jagger on lead vocals and harmonica. Keith Richards is on the guitars and backing vocals. Bill Wyman is on the bass, and Charlie Watts is on the drums. Now, they are joined by Mary Clayton, who provides lead and backing vocals, pretty much a co-lead vocal on this. Mary is an American soul and gospel singer. She has sung in support of many great artists over the years, including Neil Young, Carole King, Burt Bacharach, Linda Ronstadt, Tom Jones, many, many more. And on this co-lead vocal, it's really, I think, her crowning vocal achievement of her career. And according to Mick Jagger, the band had thought to include a female vocal on the song kind of in passing while they were in LA. And they called in Mary, who came in and sang her part in just a few takes, y'all. And the success of her performance on this song led to her releasing her own version of the song the following year as the title track of her first solo album. They also have Nicky Hopkins joining in on piano, and Jimmy Miller is on some percussion, I believe the güiro and the maracas. So let's take a look, y'all. This is going to be the original studio recording. It's Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. Off we go. Nice. Lovely deft guitar work. Sharp. So a storm is threatening, so we still have reference to the storm in there. It's a straight ahead rock and roll song, y'all. 4/4. Strong backbeat. I can't figure out if they're in a major key. It sounds major and minor at the same time. That's kind of the bluesy way of doing things though, right? To have two different kinds of thirds happening. War, children, it's just a shot away. Can't sing that high, y'all. I'm not gonna try. Hang on now. Another whole step. So they're doing 1, flat 7, and flat 6. And when they come back and land on that C sharp, it's a major chord. But she's singing the minor third of that. Interesting. There's a piano in there. That's cool. Sturdy song, isn't it? It's another one of these songs that with this type of progression does not have a dominant, it does not have a 5 chord. So it can be extended because that tonic note can be played all the time. We never have to stray. Right? So the whole song is almost a prolongation of that spot. It doesn't have that dominant to tonic movement in it, and it's part of the appeal of a blues style because the blues style is regressive in its progression as opposed to a more classical progression. A classical progression will go from subdominant to dominant, or a predominant to dominant to tonic, as a relay of handing things off. In the blues progression, it goes to the dominant typically first, and then to the predominant or the subdominant, and then it goes from there. So it kind of flips the order of dominant and subdominant on its head when we get to the blues, a more popular style of music versus a more through composed and concert style of music. And it's just really interesting as to how those ideas end up kind of interacting with each other, y'all. So Before I go on to the live version of this that I want to listen to, I was reading about Mary Clayton's experience in the recording of this song. It's a heartbreaking and fascinating story, y'all. I'll give you the short bit of it. She was 20 years old at the time, and she was pregnant. And they called her up relatively late at night, and she ended up coming into the studio in her pajamas with curlers in her hair. And after she did a handful of takes, just a few takes, I think 3 or 4, she rips it up and does what we've just heard, right? One of the great co-lead rock and roll vocals of all time, you know? She goes back home, and a short time later, she experiences a miscarriage. I had never had heard about that before reading in today, y'all. It's unclear whether the miscarriage was a cruel coincidence around the events of this evening, or the result of her exertion while singing. I don't know. But nevertheless, it ended up making the act of listening to the song and even singing the song quite traumatic for Mary. Thankfully, she did go on to have a son and was married to her husband Curtis until his death in 2002. But I thought that's an amazing, heartbreaking, and interesting backstory to how this song was created, isn't it? So that I wanted to touch on that. So I also wanted to get to a live version of this because I know that this is one of the Stones' great songs and that they've been around for a long, long time, and I wanted to see them doing their stuff on stage. So I went looking for live recordings, and there's literally hundreds of live recordings of this available on YouTube. And in the end, I decided to go with the live performance that I believe is from 2012. This is published on the Rolling Stones official YouTube channel. When in doubt, go to the source, right? And I believe that our featured female vocalist for this performance is Lisa Fischer. She toured with the Rolling Stones from 1989 to 2015, and she's also worked with a number of great artists, including not only the Stones, but Sting and Luther Vandross and Tina Turner. So we've got, I think, a fun thing to look at here. This is the Stones doing Gimme Shelter live several decades later in 2012. Off we go. And there's their logo, officially authorized. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Same key. He's holding that guitar. It's just a simple little thing that he's doing. And check out Charlie's drumming, y'all. It's just right. It's setting the stage here. This is an introductory thing, so it's not the groove yet. Now it's the groove. Really great. I need mixed pants. Hope they make them in size extra large. Is only a shot away. It's a simple lyric, but it's a scary lyric and so true, right? major. They land on that C-sharp chord as a major chord, but melodically, they're using the minor third quite a bit. Take it, Lisa. Great stage presence. And it's amazing what Mick has been able to do as a lead man of this band for 50 plus years, y'all. Almost 60 years. It's just 3 chords. Flat 6, flat 7. That's all you need. I mean, it's rock and roll, you know? You don't need to overcomplicate things. It's just about the experience and flowing and living in the moment. Being in the pocket, you know? Great presence on stage. I'd like a little bit more soloing in this. He's playing a lot of rhythm parts in this, and that just adds to the overall ensemble feel of it. I love a little more soloing in this, but that's a rhythm part. Still got the moves. He's got the moves like Jagger. That's what that song's about. I like it. I like it, y'all. I'm into it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Lisa.
Yeah, I was right. Lisa is her name.
There she is, the Maharani of Soul.
She ripped it up too. And I saw that they've had, you know, with this part available. What do they got? Just more from the stuff. Okay, that's all I need from that. Well, you know, the fact that they have that part available to female singers around the world, I've noticed as I was reading in today all of the different people over the years that have come in to guest with them on stage. And it's a who's who of great, powerful female vocalists from over the years, both standalone stars and some of the best backing vocalists in the business. And it was cool to see that one. I could have picked one by Lady Gaga. I could have picked one by, I think, Mary J. Blige. There was just Pink, I think, did one. I think Fergie did one. There's so many different opportunities to experience this song live because it's been one of their big songs for so many years. And it's really interesting to me, y'all, the vibe of the song. The vibe of the song comes off as almost playful to me, but it's apocalyptic. And that's a weird dichotomy to me. Mick said this about the song. He says, well, it's a very rough, very violent era. The Vietnam War. Violence on the screens, pillage and burning, and Vietnam was not war as we knew it in the conventional sense. The thing about Vietnam was that it was not like World War II, and it wasn't like Korea, and it wasn't like the Gulf War. It was a real nasty war, and people didn't like it. People objected, and people didn't want to fight it. And as for the song itself, he ended up saying, it's a kind of end of the world song. It's apocalypse. The whole record's like that. And it's just interesting to me how the vibe of the song comes off as such kind of a party. It's like we're celebrating and dancing. But we're also saying, hey, war, y'all, it can happen at any time. It's just one thing that can trip it up. And off we go into really a bad situation, an international conflict, you know? And it's a reminder that we should stay on guard, you know, that we should stay watchful, and that we should, of course, enjoy ourselves and celebrate life and celebrate being alive and, you know, party with our friends and all that. But we also have to deal with all of this stuff that's going on in the world. And it just, on a daily basis, the news continues to affect my psyche, which is why I love doing these videos, because I can jump in here and just kind of forget about the world for a few minutes and enjoy some music with all of you. It's very therapeutic for me, friends. So it's interesting when a piece of music like this has such a profound message with such a groovy vibe. It's a magic of music that allows that double meaning, that double type of experience to be present. Yes, I hear what they're saying lyrically, and I agree with it, and I understand it, and I take their point. But I'm also listening to their sounds, and I'm grooving, and I'm drumming along, I'm singing along, and I'm dancing, I'm moving in my chair, and that's a great experience as well. Music is odd like that, isn't it? It's so powerful and so multifaceted that it can have all of these different emotions and thoughts and experiences happening within us all at the same time. There you go, friends. What a Masterpiece Friday. The Rolling Stones. I'm only getting started with this band, y'all. This is only the second time on the channel, and it's a pretty good start. Gimme Shelter and Paint It Black. So let me know where I should go next. If I'm going to do their albums, should I start at the very beginning, or which album should I start with? If I'm doing a full album reaction, let me know in the comments, y'all. I would be very interested in seeing what you have to say. But I believe that's going to be all for me today and this week, my friends. It's been a great week, and I thank you very much for hanging out with me. I've got a lot more next week. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily